Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay Renee, and I will be reading and reacting to Am I the Asshole stories from Reddit.com. Am I the asshole for how I told my ex that my wife is pregnant?
Huh?
Why does your ex need to know that your wife is pregnant? Maybe they have kids. All right, let's see. Context. All right, we got a little backstory here. Back in 2015, male, now 35, had a major mental breakdown and a short stay in hospital after my ex-wife, Lauren, female, now 36, abandoned me and took our 5-month-old baby son, James, male, now 9, 250 miles away under the pretense of getting more help with caring for him. After finding out she wasn't coming back and several weeks of very weird discussion and therapy, I said I wanted to separate, and Lauren stated a very, very messy divorce. Started a very, very messy divorce, including false accusation, threatening behavior against her and James, against me that will still hurt to this day. It has taken years, child contact centers, and a lot of compromising to get to the stage where Lauren and James and her partner are all happy for me to visit. I always travel up to them as they refuse to meet in the middle. We have reasonably open lines of communication and plan these visits together. It is very important to know that James is autistic and finds change very difficult and anxiety provoking. Current day. After rescheduling 2 visits one day after Christmas, James felt too overwhelmed. One in February, James was ill. I finally went up to see James. He even asked if my wife Kathy, female 35, could come with me, which is a huge deal because he decided a couple of years ago that he'd rather it just be me. The visit went so well. James was very playful and more affectionate than ever. He got on well with Kathy, and I have some wonderful memories from it. A couple days after that visit, Kathy and I messaged Lauren and partner to tell them about how we're expecting a baby. Why? I don't get it. Why does she need to know that? I don't even understand why she needed to know that. Help me out. I'm not married and I'm not divorced. Never been divorced, never been married. So why on God's green earth did you need to tell your ex that you're expecting a baby with your wife? Don't get that. That was strange on your behalf, in my opinion. But y'all listening, let me know what you think. I don't understand that. We didn't tell them before the visit because I wanted to focus solely on James and I. They have also always expressed the visit should be as positive as possible. We asked if we could discuss the best ways to give the news to James and started talking about planning the next visit. Chaos. Lauren and partner replied saying how disappointed they were in how we handled this. Lauren broke down in tears due to anxiety of what this could mean for James, and James figured something was up and basically put one and one together. He is furious and extremely upset, thinking he'd be replaced. He doesn't even want my name mentioned. Q, Lauren accusing me of not doing enough to visit. I have sought counseling and have been told I have a form of CPTSD. What is CPTSD? I know PTSD, but I've never heard the C before. All right. From the abandonment of my weakest time and not forgetting the amount it costs to travel and stay where they live. The partner who typically goes above and beyond and is an excellent role model to James, telling me it wasn't the courageous thing to do and that we should have brought it up on the day. Why would I spring that on them with zero notice? We've been told to leave them alone for a while. I can't see how we could have approached this any better than we did. When messaging, I also asked when's a good time to message would be so that James wouldn't be using Lauren's phone for games, etc. Am I the asshole? I don't understand this story. This one is weird. I don't think you're the asshole. I don't see nothing wrong with anything that happens. I think your ex-wife is one of those ex-wives that just feels like she should still be very much involved in your life, but I don't see anything wrong. Oh, not the asshole. Oh my goodness, OP, you're doing everything you possibly can do the to be the good dad, and you've had every obstacle in your way, most of them put there by your asshole ex. I think you handled everything perfectly. I think your ex is jealous. I think her reaction set off your son's reaction. Yeah, because respectfully, what would make your son, what was the son's reaction? Why would your son your son is 9. So where would that thought of dad having a new kid and he's going to replace me even come from? That's something he heard the mom say and he repeated it. Because where would that come from? Oh, you're gonna replace me? Where did that? You're 9. Yeah. Your ex-wife is the asshole. She's a strange individual. We have a comment in favor of the ex. Well, maybe. Okay. I'll go against the grain and give your ex some grace. For starters, you're painting her out as an abandoning you at your lowest, all the while, from your own admission, she had an infant child to look after. From what you wrote, without her family or potentially people that she have trusted to provide support. Also, you make it sound like you were at a low point yesterday and the following day and she packed up and left. So to me, this is you oversimplifying a situation that had a lot of complexities. That is a good point, Lulu the kitty, because he did say back in 2015 that he had a mental breakdown. So obviously he got overwhelmed. He was in and out of the hospital. He had a little bit of a mental breakdown. And so the wife was in a position of taking care of their child, their toddler at the time, and the husband. And it seems like the wife just made the decision to take care of the child. That's an interesting point. I read your comments, and something that stood out to me was you saying that your visitations or ability to visit is based on X amount of variables that have to do with your mental health, your finances, and your availability. Outside of looking in, with all those things already having to coexist for you to see your son, I think it's a reasonable concern for your ex to think that this is only going to get worse by your new addition. I don't agree with that. That does that mean the man can never have kids again because he suffers from stuff? Like, I don't get it. A lot of comments want to paint her as jealous. I honestly don't think that that's it. She takes care of your son day in and day out, and things that you do when it comes to him directly and indirectly affect her. I think it's reasonable for her to feel some level of anxiety about the decisions you make that impact your son. Have you thought about what seeing your son is going to look like now that you're adding another child? Did you communicate that plan, or is that up to her to facilitate for you? Why does she need to be in on the plan? I don't get that part. Help me. Don't criticize me. I just don't understand. So that part I don't get. I feel like if it has nothing to do with her and her son, she shouldn't be involved. Now, if he's just going to completely switch up and say, instead of getting him once a month, I'm going to start getting him once every 3 months, then yeah, that's an issue. But if it hasn't even gotten to that point, or if that's not at all what he's trying to say, I don't see the problem. But again, someone help me out. Okay, another comment. Yeah, I don't know if ex-wife is great, but I don't know that I find OP a reliable narrator, and I absolutely think it's wild to have a second child when you're barely in contact with the child you already have. If your finances and mental health limit your ability to be present in the life of the child, you already have one who is possibly think they're ready for another one. See, I don't agree with that because I feel like oftentimes when people choose to get divorced and families live on opposite sides of the world or the state line or whatever, typically you have more children with the woman or man that you're in a relationship. So I don't understand why people are making it seem like he shouldn't be having kids. Now, the only reason that I can understand this is he did exaggerate the fact that, sometimes his mental illness can affect the relationship that he has with his child, his current child, but it's only because they're so far away and it's so much work to get him. In other words, creating a timeline of when is good for him, when is good for the ex-wife, the partner, the new wife. All of those details makes it complex, but I didn't see any complexities when it came to just having the son. The son loves him and the son loves his new wife. So I don't get that part. Maybe I didn't read it properly. Another one. This is it. I feel like OP is demanding patience and flexibility with his mental health that he is not willing to extend to others. OP has a lot of resentment towards his ex for not caring for him through his breakdown and hospitalization. But it sounds like she had already reached her breaking point in feeling alone and caring for their child. New mothers of infants don't just leave supportive, happy relationships because their husbands forget to empty the dishwasher once. Something was up in the marriage before she left. What does OP plan on doing differently to ensure something like this doesn't happen again, considering he's still ongoing mental health issues? That's a good perspective. Cup of the week. I love it. That's a good perspective. One says you're the asshole. Okay. You dismiss that your behavior made your ex-wife feel unsafe, and yet your mental health is so fragile you won't let a judge weigh in on custody in case of consequences. You dismiss that your ex needed help raising your son, supposedly, and then later dropped that he's neurodivergent and she has no support system where you live. So you expected her to raise your son, take care of you, and be the breadwinner with what, 6 arms and no sleep? You blame your ex for abandoning you and lying when you have out of hand dismissed all of your ex and your son's needs. I can't believe you're having a child when you're not even well enough or financially sound enough to visit the one you already have more than twice a year. You are not a fit parent. What the that poor baby. Wow. Okay. The comments are really they're exactly. I have severe mental issues, so I'm not demonizing him for this, but I would bet everything wasn't good and well before his ex-wife left that and he got committed. The things you do while in a bad mental state aren't your fault, but you did still do them and you have to take accountability for whatever you did. It seems like OP hasn't done that in the 9 years and still blames his ex wife for abandoning him at his lowest. He doesn't look good here at all, despite how he's trying to paint himself and his ex wife. Wow. I believe you are hiding what you think will make you look bad, but your comments let it show. You don't have an arrangement to be able to see him. You don't have the mental health. You don't have the finances, and another set of things that only is going to get worse after having another child. Wow. All right. What is he asking? What is he the asshole about? I personally want to read the whole story again because I'm just like, how did you guys come up with all of this? Maybe I just, I don't know. I can't see how we could have approached the situation any better. So he's more so asking if he's the asshole for how he told his ex-wife that he was having a new baby. And I don't think that he's the asshole for that. He sent her a message saying, "Hey, we're expecting." And me personally, I don't think that that's their business. What me and mine do in this house has absolutely nothing to do with you, especially not in the beginning. I mean, eventually it would be something that would be brought up, but I don't think it's like an obligation for them to have shared. But then again, he did say that he was, I really don't know. I really, 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 really don't know. Because reading this, it just makes it seem like it was a lot on him to go, because he said that when he went into the hospital, their son was 5 months old, and she and the son moved 250 miles away under the pretense of getting more help with caring for him, later to find out that she wasn't coming back, and several weeks of weird discussion and therapy. I said I wanted to separate. So that's the other problem. You're the one who wanted, damn, you might be the asshole. You're the one that wanted to separate when she left and you realized she wasn't coming back. Lauren started a very, very messy divorce, including false accusations, threatening behavior against her and James. Against me, that still hurt me to this day. It has taken years, child contact centers, and a lot of compromising to get to the stage where Lauren and James and her partner are happy for me to visit. I always travel up to them as they refuse to meet me in the middle. We have reasonably open lines of communication and plan these visits together. It's also very important to know that James is autistic and finds change being very difficult and anxiety provoking. After scheduling 2 visits, one after Christmas, James felt too overwhelmed. One in February, James was ill. I finally went up to see James. He even asked if my wife Kathy could come with me, which is a huge deal because he decided a couple years ago that he'd rather it just be me. It went very well, so well. James was very playful and more affectionate than ever. He got on with Kathy, and I have some wonderful memories from it. A couple of days after the visit, Kathy and I messaged Lauren and the partner to tell them about how we were expecting a baby. We didn't tell them before the visit because I wanted to focus solely on James and I. They have also always expressed that visits should be a positive and be as positive and possible. We asked if we could discuss the best way to give the news to James and started talking about planning the visit. Chaos. Lauren and her partner replied, saying how disappointed they were in how we handled this. Lauren broke down in tears due to anxiety of what could this mean for James. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I get y'all point down in the comments, but this does not seem like he's just being an asshole. So maybe I didn't see some of his comments because a few people saying that he left comments to this. But from beginning to end, it just seems like Lauren made decisions and James is a child. Lauren made decisions and OP, original poster, it's just going with the flow of those decisions. And anytime he kind of goes off the grain, Lauren just does not like it, because why on God's green earth are you crying?
That's suspicious.
Why are you crying that your ex-husband is having a child?
That's weird.
I'm lost. And again, so I don't really know what to say about this one. But overall, the question is he the asshole for the way that he told Lauren, which is his ex-wife, that he was having a child? And I'm going to say no. You're not the asshole for the way that you told her you were having a child. I personally don't even understand why it was necessary for you to even tell her. However, this one seems very sticky. The comments, some people say he's not the asshole. Some people say that he is the asshole. So I want to know what you guys think, because I'm not really 100% sure about how I feel about this one. But answering the question, I don't think that he was the asshole. I personally don't even understand why he needed to tell her to begin with. But I genuinely, genuinely, genuinely would like to know what you guys think. Do you think that he was the asshole, yes or no? And do you think that his mental issues and his financial incapabilities should have stopped him from having another child with his now new wife? Let me know down in the comments, because I am very interested to see what you have to say. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you again so much for coming back to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. We have a giveaway at 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers. Like, comment, share. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.